the fuck you wanna be? Like I am what I am, I'm just saying. Homie, this is me. If only you could see, this is who I am, man. Understand? You can choose to be who the fuck you wanna be.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. ngk's back. Episode 3 coming in tonight. Just giving advice, tips, and all that on, for managers, I guess, for music managers in the industry. For this episode, I want to focus on tips and tricks that I have. Things that I found that, fucking hell, if I knew the whole time, would have saved me a lot of time and energy. So this is going to be ngk's secrets and tricks and tips. I'm going to start off with this one because, to put it into context, I was managing Jaycee for, I'd say, 6 months, 7 months maybe, and I hadn't done this. And then when I kind of found out about it, it was kind of just like a no-brainer, and I felt like an idiot the whole time. So I just want to start it off with that, and that is funnel lists. Now, as a music manager, a lot of your time 100% needs to be put into building funnel lists. For those of you who don't know what a funnel list is, it's pretty much just a file that you keep track of, that you keep building into, like pretty much an Excel sheet of a whole bunch of data that you are keeping track of and that you are picking up on a day-to-day basis. A funnel list can be used in so many different beneficial ways, whether it's people that you meet, whether like contacts, for instance, people that you find online, whether it's other music managers or people within the industry and you find their names and their emails, etc. It might be people that you have been meeting within your city, whether it's, venue owners, venue managers, promoters, putting them into the funnel list. Funnel lists can be used for your fans, the people who are dropping comments, the people who are liking most regularly, people who are DMing your artist. The funnel list can be used for so many different reasons, but it is an unbelievably effective and beneficial thing that I think every music manager must have. And yeah, like I said, I was only introduced to a funnel list like 7 months in from when I was managing Jaycee from a friend of mine, Sean Fitzy. So shout out to him for, really drilling that into my head, the importance of a funnel list. Make sure you, start funnel listing everything around your business, everything around what it is that you're doing, whether it be contacts, fans, just statistics in general. So the best way to do that is, just open up an Excel sheet, whether you have Excel on your computer. If not, make sure you get onto a Google Drive account. That can cost some money, from what I recall. I'm not sure if it costs money for an individual account. I know it does for multiple accounts. And that would be the first thing. Second thing, email etiquette. The reason I've added this in is because I literally just recently went through a few of my old emails in some of my old email accounts. And man, it was a shock to see what I was actually sending out and the way I was actually communicating to people. And that's always going to happen. Like, I might even think that 6 months from now on the emails I'm sending out now, and that's just how you learn. But, I really was saying some stupid shit, and the way I was formatting my emails was, there wasn't etiquette behind it. And I just want to kind of touch on this topic because at that time, I thought I was. So I just want to really push that to music managers out there right now. If you're new to all this, take a moment and take a step back on your emails and how you're structuring them. Look, I wish I had a freaking video to kind of give you an example for, but if anyone's out there and wants kind of examples of emails and stuff that they're sending out as a music manager, just hit me up. Like, I will literally give you some of my email templates. Some of the emails that Julie and I cook up are brilliant templates now. I think we've really got onto them. And they're really clean. For those music managers who are doing their own emails and stuff like that, when I mean email etiquette, when you're pitching your artist for certain things, whether you're pitching them to blogs, venues, etc., obviously have standardized, email etiquette, but be authentic. And that's one thing I really took on board with my emails was, yes, I followed the basic etiquette of like structures of an email, whether it's hello, so-and-so, comma, line, yada yada, etc., kind regards. Like, still following those basic things, but not taking it too far to that extent. I'm an advocate for being authentic and adding your own tang in there and not really conforming to, standardized words and stuff like that. Like, be you in the email, but follow the structures accordingly, if that makes sense. And then in terms of pitching, this was one of the biggest things that I was looking at on my previous emails that I was like, what the fuck was I doing? And it was, I was pitching Jaycee to like radios and, articles and events, etc., and I was, linking and tagging a lot of shit. And so when I say tagging, I meant attaching. Don't attach shit. Like, that's a big no-no. Don't attach songs, don't attach videos, etc. If you don't have a platform or anything yet, just link shit. Link a YouTube, link a Spotify. Link the stuff as opposed to attach. So do not attach things, link them. But to take that to that extra professional level, if you're really looking to up your email game, this comes under the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which was getting your artist an EPK. When you get an EPK, it really takes things to the next level in terms of marketing your artist. So I would say an EPK is a 100% absolute necessity. Jaycee didn't have an EPK for months. I mean, I remember finding out about EPKs, and I was looking at it and I was like, oh yeah, I should probably get one, but I don't have the time, etc. Look, you need to make that a necessity because it is so important to have an EPK, as it literally bundles everything that you need to pitch to an individual or an external source in the one file. For those of you who don't know what an EPK is, it's essentially a one-page combined description of everything that someone would need to know, like a summary of your artist. It's essentially going to have the main bio, the music linked into it, and I'm talking about click-on links, which take it to an external platform, probably Google Drive, etc., or actually YouTube or Spotify. It's going to have, music videos, content, just anything that you need, or that you want to put on there that, represents your artist, contact details, all the socials. It's just one page that really represents your artist as a whole. And by having an EPK, it really helps you in terms of not having to paste certain things into the actual email, like for instance a bio. Like, I was sending out bios to people, that's taking up so much space, and that's just making the email a lot less engaging and a lot less likely to be noticed by an individual. So having the EPK really bundles everything and makes it just that more clean and crisp for someone to actually read your email and be like, okay, I'm going to check this artist out by reading their EPK and looking at everything on the EPK. So that's a big one. Make sure you get your artist an EPK. And if you don't know anyone who is a designer or who can do that, you're going to have to fund capital for that. That's going to be a necessity in your business. An EPK is a necessity. So make sure you get onto that. Another thing, this one I've only just kind of really come to terms with now and over the past few months, as we've been doing a lot more and just been getting busier with things. Making sure you keep track of every piece of content of your artist. This is a thing that I am so regretful of. I did keep track of, photos and whatnot for a period of time, and then I was like, it's just kind of getting pointless. But I just want to let you know right now, it is a 100% necessity. Please make sure you literally have a file on your computer that has every bit of content, every photo you've ever taken of your artist, every piece of content, video, and every external of write-up or promotion. Anytime that there is an interview, a write-up, anything in that case, please make sure you put it in a file and save it, because I guarantee you that will be the best decision you make. It will save you in the long run when you do, and I mean do, need some of the old content and need to keep track of old things. That's one thing I wish I kept track of, was a lot of the content that we've made that has just kind of been lost along the way or quite hard to find. Another two things that I want to quickly go over in this episode would be platforms to put your artist on that you need to know about that will promote your artist and the events that they're doing. I only found out about these two platforms, 8-9 months into managing Jaycee. I really want to put that into context for people that are watching this. It has taken me X amount of time to discover these things. That is why I want to give them to anyone watching this video, to save you all that time. Now, the first website that you need to know as a music manager is Bands in Town. Now, Bands in Town is a great website that you have to create for your artist. There's the general website, which is Bands in Town, where you can find artists and find where they're touring and keep track of them, etc., etc. And there's the Bands in Town manager, I think it is. Just type in Bands in Town manager, you'll find it. And then you have to log into like a manager section and create an artist page for your artist. And it's just a whole nother social media platform where you can then upload events that that your artist is going to be having at venues across the country or across the world or whatnot. And people who are on that platform can follow your artist, and when an event pops up for that artist, it will notify them. It's a brilliant website. It's a worldwide website. Artists across the world are using it. Make sure when you're doing shows that you have your artist shows on Bands in Town. The next website, which is a brilliant website, is called Songkick. Now, Songkick, for those wondering how artists are getting their shows on their Spotify account, it is through the external platform Songkick. Now, to create an account through the manager's side of things, you need to go through Songkick Toolbox. And same as the one before, you create your account, you verify it, and you create your artist page and link it to the Spotify account. And then when you upload events through Songkick, it will update and then come through the Spotify account. I was always curious about that, so it was interesting when I was told about that. And the funny thing is, I was actually notified about those two websites from Richard Moffat. Big ups to Richard for that. I remember when he told me about those. I was kind of like, oh yeah, I've kind of heard of them. Never heard of them before. And then when I looked into them, I was like, Jesus, I've been sleeping. That's going to be it for this episode. I have a lot more things, a lot more tips, a lot more tricks, advice that I want to give. So there's going to be plenty more episodes, which I'm happy about. I think this is a great series so far. But yeah, those few things that I talked about already are just necessities for a music manager in promoting and providing for their artists. And like I said, a lot of those things took me many months to figure out, find, discover. So I'm hoping that you saw this video and you didn't know about one thing that I just spoke about, and I saved you some time and helped with that. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If there's any questions you have or whatever, just drop them in the comment. Contact me on my personal pages, whatever. I'm all open. It's all love, it's all passion. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys on the next episode.
When they come around, she on a calm now, but she told me she never popped a pill. I should never trust her. Fuck it, she's